This is the Kevin Trudeau Show.
I am exposing the corruption in government and in major multinational corporations. We're telling you the things that they don't want you to know that will make your life better.
Tonight, thank you. You know, I'll tell you what the problem with Chevy was. He didn't play with the big boys. It's television. It's all about cars. It's who's got the best car. Leno, he's got himself a new Viper. Letterman, he drives a Viper. So what I do? I went out and got myself a Viper, and here it is. What can I tell you? I don't have their budget. Let's say hello to the house band, The Critics. Mr. Montaigne, how was your memory?
Oh, I'll tell you, Dan, I'm lucky I remembered how to get here today.
Yeah, I have the same problem myself. I'm really glad that memory expert Kevin Trudeau is on the show tonight because as you might expect, I don't have quite the memory I should. I always knew that I was on a TV show, but until I met Kevin, I always thought I was a member of the Brady Kids. Well, I'd like to bring out my first guest. He's memory expert Kevin Trudeau. He's the founder of the American Memory Institute, the world's largest memory training school, and author of the #1 self-improvement program in history, the Mega Memory. You've seen him on all the television shows. He's one of the most sought-after speakers and talk show guests in the country. Please make me help him feel welcome, Kevin Trudeau.
Kevin Trudeau, there we go. How'd you like that intro? Welcome to the Kevin Trudeau Show. How'd you like that introduction? I can't tell you why we had to do that. I cannot tell you, but I can tell you that free speech is under attack. I got a great show today. This could be the last show of the Kevin Trudeau Show. I don't know. I'm in court tomorrow. A couple things I'm going to talk about today. Number one, I'm going to talk about some manifesting secrets. I'm going to give you an update on the legal situation. I'm going to talk about how free speech is under attack like you've never seen or imagined in your entire life. I'm just happy to be here today. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Well, thanks for joining me. Great show today. If you're new, welcome. This show is about the things that they don't want you to know about that will improve the quality of your life, take you out of your trance, increase your awareness and consciousness, make you happier, make you more at cause over your environment, and give you the life you always dreamed about. That's what the show is all about. It's an upbeat, positive, inspirational show. And the government hates that. So first off, what's the legal update? As you know, and some of you don't know the whole story. You know, I have to do a show where I give really the whole story. I've talked bits and pieces about it. But, you know, I lived a great life. You know, I had the Rolls Royces, the Ferraris, the mansions around the world, the private jets, the chefs, the butlers, the maids, custom-made clothing, custom-made shoes. You know, they would fit your foot and custom make the shoe. $10,000, $15,000 for a pair of shoes. And this is 30 years ago. How much is that today? I had a pretty good, darn beautiful, good life. Celebrities, royalty, presidents, prime ministers, many of them are still friends of mine. And I had a pretty good life. And I made a decision to expose to you, the public, what I knew, what was allowing me to live a wonderful life, to help you live a better life. And the powers that be said, don't even try it. And then I said, you know, I think I should, in addition to that, go into politics. And somebody pointed out that when I made an announcement that there's a good chance I'll be running for Congress, either as a representative or senator, that's when all of a sudden I started getting sued by the federal government, the witch hunts, the false accusations, the lies, the deception, out of control. And it's been an interesting ride. And right now, I'm in court again tomorrow. My lawyers are meeting with the government, and I can't tell you what I was doing this morning. We're trying to come up to some agreement, and we're right at this teetering point where the government may kind of step away and allow me to move forward, or they're going to bring in those 30 lawyers that they said in court that they have working at the Federal Trade Commission to try to put me in prison and silence me once and for all. And we're right at this point where either they're going to launch an all-out war against me with 30 lawyers. That's the number that they said in court. I can only imagine. Which means I have no chance. Because when you have 30 lawyers working full-time, government lawyers, against you, you have no chance. The system is rigged. The justice system, the court system, it's rigged. The average citizen doesn't have a prayer when the federal government decides they're going to put a target on your back. It's a saying, show me the man and I will show you the crime, which means you can pick any person, just point to that person and tell the government, find a crime, sue him, charge him, convict him, put him in prison, and the government says, we obey. It shall be done. No problem. All the cards are in our favor. They don't have a prayer. And that's how it works. So tomorrow I am in court, and the government has given me kind of a proposal a few weeks ago to give them $1 million, and I don't have $1 million because they took everything away from me 15 years ago. They wiped me out 100%, and they're doing it to other people. But what I said is I have supporters around the world, although I can't reach them because you stole the government. They took, the receiver did, they took all of the names of all of my customers and all of my supporters, so I can't even reach them. So there's only a very small amount of you that even know that I'm here. And I said, some of them will step up. They'll go to the Kevin Trudeau fan club. They'll make a one-time contribution. Maybe if they're not a partner, they'll become a partner. If they are a partner, they'll upgrade their partnership. So those are the three things that I'm going to have to show the judge tomorrow. I'm going to say, in the last few days, and whatever we bring in today is also going to be there. Look at the number of people that went to KevinTrudeauFanClub.com and made a one-time contribution of any amount. And there was a fellow in Germany that made a $10,000 gift contribution. Thank you very much. Look at the number of people that like what I'm doing. And look at the number of people that have gone to the fan club and made a one-time contribution. And look at the number of people who've made 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 contributions over the last 6 months. Look at the number of new people in just the last few days who've become partners. And look at the number of partners who've upped their partnership level. That's going to make a big difference because the government still wants to put me in jail and shut me off and shut down this show. They're doing it to Alex Jones. They've done it to Russell Brand. Even the platforms, as we know now, Mark Zuckerberg has admitted that the White House contacted him about censoring information about Biden's son's laptop in the last election. That was election interference. We had the White House talking to a social media platform, Facebook and Instagram, and saying censor information and only put out information that's positive to our campaign so that we will win. This is happening right now today with the Harris campaign versus the Trump campaign. The social media outlets and the Google searches are all skewed and they're being forced to do this. This is tyranny at the highest level. But tomorrow I'm in court. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I'm ready to be, taken into custody again and trying to be silenced. And so Wednesday you'll know. Well, actually tomorrow afternoon, if you're on the Telegram channel, if you're on the Kevin Trudeau Fan Club Telegram channel, I'll give you an update tomorrow afternoon. But go to KevinTrudeauFanClub.com if you can. Make a one-time contribution right now, today. It's going to make a huge difference, and it is making a difference. I can tell you right now in the negotiations with the government, it is making a huge difference, and we're right on this teetering point. I'll tell you what, we could get spectacular news tomorrow. And it will come if you give and go to KevinTrudeauFanClub.com and give a contribution of any amount, or become a partner if you're not a partner. And if you are a partner, upgrade your partnership level. By the way, I also just put up on the Kevin Trudeau Telegram channel some more one-on-one openings. They're all been sold out. So I put some more one-on-one openings. If you want a one-on-one session with me on Zoom, I have 10. That's it. There's 10 openings. So go to the Kevin Trudeau Fan Club Telegram channel. You can click on the link and you can book those in. Those are going to go probably today or tomorrow. They'll be gone. And I'm going to show that too, the number of supporters. So a lot is happening. The number of you who've got the Guru Kev books, that's making a big difference. The number of people that are going to the Legal Defense Fund site, everything's making a big difference. So it's an exciting day. And I want to share with you, there's an article that just came out today to show you that everything, this goes in the Kevin Was Right file, that everything I've been saying about censorship is true. And I am going to talk about some manifesting techniques on today's show too, so stay with me. And I got maybe a couple other things depending on how the time goes. The government, not just in the United States, but the governments around the world, want to censor information. They want to completely suppress any information that they don't want you to know about. They want to control the messages that you're getting. They want to control you through the media and the internet today. John Kerry, who was the Secretary of State, he was a U.S. Senator. Many of you don't know, he went to Yale University, and he was also, and is still, a member of Skull and Bones, the secret society that George Bush was a member of as well. And he's also been in Bilderberg meetings. I know because I was there. He's been at the Council of Foreign Relations, that secret society. Bohemian Grove. I know because I was there. I don't know about it, I know it. He has admitted that he's a member of Skull and Bones. This is the group that is trying to censor information, mislead you, deceive you, lie to you, and get you to think a certain way and act a certain way. And here's what he says. John Kerry calls the First Amendment a major block to stopping disinformation. And you can read the whole article. It's actually his quotes. This is beautiful because he was recorded when he was speaking. And he's talking about First Amendment issues, about people sharing opinions. And I will give you the summary of what he has to say. He says, effectively, the government needs to control what people are exposed to. The government needs to control the information that the public gets. The government has to tell people what is true and what is not, and get rid of anything that is being said that the government doesn't believe is true or accurate. He goes on to say that the First Amendment is a big pain in the ass because it's stopping the government from controlling the information. And the internet is a major problem because people like Kevin Trudeau, like Alex Jones, like Russell Brand, like Joe Rogan, like many of these people are sharing logical opinions and ideas based on facts, and we don't like it. We want to shut all those people off, get them off the air, And when people put a tweet out on X, or people post something on Facebook or Instagram, or they go on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcast or Rumble, we want to be able to control it and review it and saying, no, you can't say that, and take it off the air. Stop it. We need to stop books from being printed. We need to stop that. If a person writes a book, this is John Carrey, and I'm paraphrasing. This needs to be controlled by the government because it's the free flow of information as it is now, he goes on to say, it is effectively preventing us from governing the way we want. It's reducing our control and power and authority over the populace. That's a bad thing, according to John Carrey. And it's not just John Carrey. It's every one of these people, these privileged elite class people. That's what it's about. You know, I don't have to sit here. I came in and I thought to myself, you know, I could be on the golf course today. I could be fishing. I could be relaxing. I could be doing some yoga at the gym. I could be doing some boxing or martial arts. I could be spending the afternoon today doing something I love, which is cook, and I haven't had a chance to do that because I'm doing all this work for you. So I could be cooking up a nice, beautiful meal. I could invite some of the neighbors over for a nice dinner party tonight. I don't have to be here and do this. I do this because you're in a trance, many of you, to varying degrees. Your consciousness and awareness is low, and I see every single day how you struggle in life. And not just struggle with finances or struggle with stress and anxiety because of money, but you struggle in your relationships. You're blowing up, you have hot tempers, people push your buttons, you feel sad, you feel depressed, you struggle, you don't feel close with your partner, your kids are having challenges, you feel unfulfilled in the job you're at, your physical health is bad. And I look at this and I have compassion. Compassion is you have a right to be happy. And it doesn't matter what the external conditions are. You can always be happy. I know it's so easy for me to say, but it's the life I live. Whether I was in a prison cell or whether I'm in a luxurious mansion, 20,000 square feet, being served by servants on the finest china, the finest baccarat crystal, the finest bottle of wine or cognac or cigars and caviar and food prepared, going to the finest restaurants. It doesn't matter to me. There's no attachment to any of those physical things. But you struggle every day. And I have compassion for you. I have love and compassion for you. You don't have to. You can live the life you want. You can have all of your dreams. The government wants you to be a slave. They want you to stay asleep. They want you to continue to live in a trance, to be nothing more than a consumer. Work like a slave, spend all your money, go into debt, use your credit cards, and that's it. And just obey. Do what they tell you to do. Just obey. And then the privileged elite class, they have freedom. They do what they want. They think how they want. They enjoy their life while you're a drone. Snap out of your trance, my friends. You can. And that's why I do the show. And that's why we're right at this precipice here where they could shut it down tomorrow. And I'll make an announcement. And it doesn't affect me one bit. Not going to affect my lifestyle. As a matter of fact, it's going to make my lifestyle better because I have a lot more free time to do the things that I'm not doing, that I could be doing. But I'll tell you what, my number one joy, because it brings me into alignment, is to be here for you and to help you achieve your goals and dreams, to manifest all the things in life you want, to have joy overflowing on the inside, to experience the same bliss and sense of oneness and satisfaction, fulfillment, and sense of purpose in life that I feel. You can have that. You can have it all. It really is just learning how to increase your awareness and consciousness and freeing yourself of some of those energetic imprints that are in your field that are holding you back. But the number one thing is to come out of the trance. Stop being a sniop, susceptible to the negative influence of other people, which most of you are. You know, on the Telegram channel, I had mentioned, I showed a picture. We had a dinner on Saturday night. We had 30 people in town taking the money processes and the relationship processes. Many of them were going through it again. And I was chatting with them at dinner, because we had a nice dinner together. What are the results? And there was one fellow that I was talking to who had a beautiful gold diamond Rolex watch on. George was his name. Super fantastic guy. And he was telling me about the money he's making, the joy he's feeling, his health is good, he's in good shape. He's posting things on Instagram. He's got 200,000 followers, had 4 million views. He's been doing it for about a year and a half. Man, he is just doing fantastic. And he was talking about how the money processes are helping him so much. The fellow sitting next to me, one of the top copywriters in the world, who studied all of my work to help him become one of the top copywriters in the world. And he's made huge amounts of money. He's a good friend of Donnie French's. And he taught Donnie French some of the finer arts of copywriting. There's our dinner picture there. And Donnie French, as you know, made millions because I taught him the basics of copywriting while I was in prison with him, and the basics of how to use the mind to manifest your goals, dreams, and desires. And somebody on the Telegram channel said, I'm thinking about doing the money processes. Can somebody tell me how it's worked out for you? And I understand that to an extent. But think about it. I just wrote a piece, and in that piece I said something to this effect. I said I could list hundreds or even thousands of testimonials here from people that have gone through the money processes, the relationship processes, sharing their results. But it doesn't matter how the money processes or relationship processes worked for them. What really matters is, are you going to like it? Are you going to see results? And the only way you'll know is if you go through it. It's like a restaurant. How is that restaurant? It's no good. Really? Yeah, I've been there. I didn't like it. And then you don't go to the restaurant. You're basing everything on somebody else's opinion. Wouldn't it be better if you say, I'll be the judge of that? You go to the restaurant. John Denny and I were in California, and there was a fancy restaurant. I don't want to mention the name because I know the chef, and he came over and said hi to us while we were having dinner. And he's a world famous chef, world famous. So I called a couple people. I says, hey, have you been to this restaurant, such and such, recently? And I talked to 3 people, and they all say, yeah, it's not that good. So I got 3 recommendations from people that said it wasn't that good. I go, okay. But I'm going to go and find out for myself. So John and I went to dinner there. We had the meal, and at the end, John looks at me and goes, KT, was that one of the worst meals we've ever had? And I laughed. I go, yeah. And when the chef came over, we didn't want to tell him. It just wasn't very good. But you know something? I made that decision. I wasn't susceptible to the influence of other people. Does that make sense? So forget what other people say. If you want to experience something, whether it's partnership in the Kevin Trudeau fan club, whether it's a restaurant or a movie, whether it's going through the money processes or relationship processes, you be the judge. And by the way, if you want information on the money processes or relationship processes, there's a couple emails. If you want information on money process, moneyprocesses@kevintrudeau.com. We have scheduled in Chicago every month. You can come. I'll take you to dinner. Or we also have them scheduled all over the world. And we'll give you the locations. You can go there for the money processes as well. And if you want information on the relationship processes, we'll put that up. Just send us an email and we'll give you the dates and locations and the prices, and you can talk to Megan if you have any questions about it. But you be the judge. At the end of the day, these things are creating miracles in people's lives. I mean, I just read them. I get emails every day from people that are going through the relationship processes, talking about how, it's manifesting in their life, relationships, better sex, they're meeting people, they're dating, their partner, if they're married or in a relationship, it's better than ever. Or in some cases, it finally, after they went through the relationship process, the relationship came to an end and now they're free and then they met somebody. I mean, miracles are happening. So money process, relationship process, check that out and you be the judge. By the way, that's also going to be significant tomorrow. So if anybody takes advantage of that today, it's really going to help me in the negotiations and with the judge tomorrow in court, because I can show the number of people that are taking advantage of some of the things that we have to offer. All right, I want to talk about a major block in manifesting your goals, dreams, and desires. You're going to love this. A fella sent me a book. It's not on my recommended book list. Never even heard of the book. It was a book on manifesting. It was the greatest manifesting book ever produced, teaching the secrets of how to manifest your goals, dreams, and desires in life. And so I started going through the book. First I said, who's the guy who wrote it? And I can't find any information on this fellow. So I don't know anything about this guy, but I do know one thing. He ain't rich. That I know, because if he was, I can figure that out. I can find that out. If he had $100 million, I would know. I just make a few phone calls, put his name out to some of my sources. The guy's like completely off the radar screen. Maybe he's making a few dollars selling the book, but he ain't worth anything. Okay, that's only one form of manifesting. I get it. Maybe he has good health, maybe he has a good relationship, maybe he's manifested some things in his life, and I'm not downplaying that. But I know he doesn't have a lot of money. And the book was primarily about manifesting money. You've heard me talk about this before. So I'm reading this book, and it says, in order to manifest money, use feng shui. Now, you've heard me talk about feng shui, which is a Chinese art of how you set things up in your house or your car or your office so that energy flows properly. And his claim was, if you have bad feng shui, you won't make money. And if you have good feng shui, you will make money. Okay. One thing I know about feng shui, and all the feng shui experts will tell you, if you have a house and you open the front doors and there's a door straight ahead that if you open that, it goes right out to the backyard. That's terrible for making money, because all the money that comes in the front door goes right out the back door. That is the worst feng shui for money, according to feng shui. I was just in Beverly Hills, and a friend of mine who I think he's worth around $200 million, had a $25 million house that he lives in Beverly Hills. And he's lived in this house for 15 years. And during those 15 years, he's made an amazing amount of money. So I went to his house, and it's up in the Hollywood Hills, the Beverly Hills area there. Truesdale is where it's called, which is like the creme de la creme. It's one of the beautiful areas. A lot of celebrities live there. And I get to his house, and I open the front door, It's a big open floor plan. I open the front door. It's gorgeous, $25 million house. I open the front door, and straight ahead at the house are these open sliding glass doors out to the backyard and the pool. And I said, you know, according to feng shui, you should be broke. And he laughed, and he goes, you know something? I knew about that when I got the house. And I thought, my mind's stronger than any feng shui. And we all laughed. He goes, since I bought the house, I've made more money than I did before I bought the house. So I don't know about that feng shui stuff, but the point is, in this book, it said feng shui. The guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Then he said, this is another great one, get jars. And in the jar, put some coins or some dollar bills or $100 bills or something that reminds you of wealth, and set these jars up around the house. Another thing he said was bought little jars of water and put salt in it, salt water, and put it in all the corners of your house inside and out, because that will absorb all the negative energies. Then he said, get some incense, and he talked about the specific kinds of incense that attract money, and you put incense in your house. And then he talked about crystals and how you should get crystals and put them in your house. And then he talked about listening to certain frequencies and getting headphones, and you have to use headphones, and put on these headphones to get the brain working in a certain area. And that's going to help you achieve wealth. Let's stop right there. I was just in California, and I was with 35 guys. The combined wealth of those 35 guys, well, one guy controlled over 350 billion. That's just one guy. So the combined wealth was probably over $500 billion. And I asked a lot of these people, do you have jars in your house with money? No. Do you have jars with salt water? No. Do you put headphones on and listen to frequencies? No. Do you use incense? No. Do you have crystals? No. So this guy's writing a book on manifesting money, telling you to do things that rich people don't do. Does that make sense? This is why I've said 100 times, who do you listen to? You listen to somebody who has what you want and has been where you are. You listen to somebody who knows, not just knows about. All this guy did when he wrote this book is he probably went on Amazon and he probably bought 30 different books on manifesting and the law of attraction. And he pulled something from this one and this one and this one. And he basically just used AI and he wrote the book. Do you realize that most of these books that you're buying, especially all these download books, that they're written by AI? Do you understand that? Some clown is going, I'm going to make a lot of money. How to make millions of dollars fast and easy. Buy my book for $39.95. Instant download. Well, guess what? All he did was go on chat, was it CGP?
GPT.
Something like that, or some crazy thing, and just goes, give me a 50-page book on how to make millions of dollars. And it writes it up, and that's what he prints, and that's what you're reading. It's the goofiest thing I've ever seen. And I know because I've gotten these, I want to see what is out there. And it's clearly, and you feed it into another program, and it says, yeah, this was AI generated. This was it was written by AI, not even the person. And that's what you're exposed to. So this whole book on manifesting and all of these things are a joke. They really are. So, I mean, what do real wealthy people do? It's all outlined in the Science of Personal Mastery course under the money lessons. David Kruger's going through it right now. And he was saying, man, I'm reading the money lessons. It's like over the top. I mean, you can go through some of the common denominators of wealthy people. Number one, they have a strong self-image. How do you get one? Look, most people who are wealthy came into this life being told by their parents, you're a winner. You can do whatever you put your mind to. You're good. You're smart. You're intelligent. You got drive. You're motivated. People like you. So constantly, from the time they were born, all through their upbringing, they were programmed with all these positive messages, and therefore their self-image is high. On the other side of the coin, some of them were told, you're a loser, you'll never make it. And that drove them, like in my case, that drove them to say, you're going to eat them words. But at the end of the day, if you're programmed with negative from your mother and father, your siblings, your aunts and uncles, your teachers, your coaches when you were growing up, you're not going to overcome it. So you have a bad self-image, which is why Maxwell Maltz, in his original version of the book, Psycho-Cybernetics, discusses at length the power of a self-image, but really doesn't tell you how to change it. In the Science of Personal Mastery course, I give you all of the lessons on changing the self-image, and that's critical. So a strong self-image is something that all wealthy people have. Next, they have drive. They have determination. They are determined. They have a fire in their belly. They have a need to make money. It's this drive for success. That's very common. How do you get that? Again, when you go through the Success Mastery course, when you go through the Science of Personal Mastery course, when you go through the Guru Kev lessons, you learn how to do this. If it's not in your DNA, which for most of us it isn't, we have to develop it. And you can. You absolutely can. The next thing that they all do, and again, I was just with these people for a whole week. The other thing that they all do is they all have in their possession an heirloom from their wealthy grandparents or great-great-grandparents, or an artifact that was in some wealthy English manor home or some wealthy family's house. Or they have a talisman or an amulet that has been in the possession of a highly spiritually evolved being that has prosperity consciousness. These items then absorb that prosperity consciousness. And when you have it in your possession, it virtually creates an attractor field for prosperity, luck, money, abundance, opulence, success. That's what they do have. They don't have bowls of water with salt water in it, but they do have these amulets. And where are you going to get one? Well, a lot of times these amulets are spiritual books like a Bible or Torah or Mahabharata or the Vedas or the Ramayana or Quran that has been passed down through generations. And as long as it's been passed down through generations or was in the possession of a wealthy person, it has that frequency. If it was passed down from your relatives who are poor, then you also have an attractive field in your house. And it's creating poverty. Now think about this. Think about this strongly. Were your parents rich or poor? Were your grandparents rich or poor? Were your great-great-grandparents rich or poor? What do you have in your house that was theirs? A ring, a piece of jewelry, a piece of clothing, a photograph, a book, a piece of furniture. You actually could be in possession of something that has poverty vibrational frequencies attached to it, creating a poverty attractor field. Good chance. Wealthy people have the exact opposite. And that's why I offer the Guru Kev book, because I've infused it with prosperity, high frequencies and energy. So they could possibly act as this prosperity attractor field when you have it in your possession. That's why people who get it feel something, they tell me. And it can be very powerful to you. So think about that. Think about the books you're reading on manifesting. and listen to people that have what you want and have been where you are. Because you can manifest your goals, dreams, and desires. You can improve the quality of your life. You can improve your standard of living. And I'll give you one other thing that's very common amongst wealthy people. And it's really, I can tell a person's wealth by a couple things. Wealthy people don't use credit cards. The reason is, if you're buying something on a credit card and then just making the minimum payments, that means you didn't have the money to pay for it in cash. And if you don't have the money to pay for it in cash, you can't afford it. Rich people don't go into debt with credit cards. They buy things in cash. And if they use a credit card, now here's an example of the media lying to you. There was a big article about the owner of the Mavericks. What's the owner of the Mavericks? He's on Shark Tank.
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban. So Mark Cuban got a black, it's called the Centurion. They call it a black American Express card in the article. That's how stupid the journalist is. I had one. It's called the Centurion card. Amex doesn't call it Amex Black. We call it that because it's a titanium card that's black, but it's the Centurion card. And it has no limit, theoretically. They just have to make sure you have the money. So American Express has a card called Centurion. We know it as the American Express Black card. So Mark Cuban uses this card. He just got the card. His team won the championship or won something. And they were celebrating. And he was at some place and he was buying a $140,000 bottle of champagne. He's out with his players. And he puts it on his American Express Black card. And it gets denied. Because it's a new card. There it is. Yeah. And it says Black Amex. And it says trying. Okay. Now, when you look at the article, it goes on to say Mark Cuban's credit card got declined. An American Express card is not a credit card. It's a charge card. What's the difference? Trey, do you know the difference between a credit card and a charge? No, he's shaking his head like no. See, like everybody, nobody knows. A charge card, like an American Express or a Diners Club or a Carte Blanche, those were the three charge cards back in the day. A charge card means if I charge something today, 30 days later, I'm going to get a bill from American Express. I have to pay it 100%. That's a charge card. Because I don't have to carry $140,000 in cash on me. I can just put it on my card. Amex, American Express, is going to send me a bill and I have to pay it in full. There's no option. A credit card, if I put that $140,000, if Mark Cuban had a credit card, 30 days later when he gets the bill, he doesn't have to pay the $140,000. All he has to pay is the minimum monthly payment, and they charge interest on the balance. That's the difference between a credit card and a charge card. Do you understand now, Trey? Does it make sense? Yeah? So the media does this all the time. They mislead you because they're misusing terms. They do it all the time. Most of the time, it's out of stupidity and lack of research, lack of professionalism. They don't do their homework. And some of the times, it's done on purpose. 100% manipulation on purpose to deceive you. So the point is, rich people don't use credit cards. They never have a balance on their credit card. They may use a credit card to make a purchase. I do. When I go to the gas station, I pull up my car, I put my credit card in. It is a credit card. It's a Visa credit card. I put it in, and then I look online, and it says how much I charged. And guess what I do every week? I don't even wait till the end of the month. Every week, I pay off the balance because I have the money for the gas. But I just didn't want to walk inside and hand the guy in cash. I'd rather just do the transaction online. I never have a balance on my credit card. If you have a balance on your credit card, that means you spent money you didn't have. It's nobody's fault except your own. None. If you are in debt, it's nobody's fault except your own. Nobody put a gun to your head to spend money. So rich people pay for things as they go. They pay in cash, they pay in full. Otherwise, they know I can't afford it. There are two exceptions. Exception number one, an automobile. Exception number two, a house. Everything else, they pay in cash. And by the way, I think it's over 70% of the homes in California, and I could be wrong on this, but I think it's somewhere around this number. 70% of the $10 million and above homes in California were purchased in cash. And what they do, the rich, is they then get a home, a line of credit on the equity in their home. And there's an advanced technique of using that going forward without ever going into debt. But you're managing your money very effectively. Also, automobiles are either paid in cash when you're very wealthy or leased. Because an automobile, if you're buying a new car, it depreciates 30% the first year. It's a depreciating asset, not an appreciating asset like real estate. So there's some technical things that you do. But the point is, if you are using credit cards, you are in broke mentality. And number one is you have to get out of debt. You really do. I'm going to do a whole show on how to get out of debt, if I'm still allowed to do a show. Fair's over there going, am I going to have a job after tomorrow? You're good for at least another couple months, I think, because John Denny's in charge and he'll handle something. But I'm going to do a whole show on how to get out of debt. As you know, I wrote the book Debt Cures. I'm also going to do a whole show on how to improve your credit. I have a lot of friends who are credit experts. I wrote a book on it. But there's so many things have changed in the last 15 years. I'll bring in some of my friends who are experts on that, and I'll show you. I'll give you one little tip right now on credit. Nobody knows this. And this is like nobody knows this. Your credit report looks at your credit cards, and it says, what is the credit line on the credit card? So let's say you have one credit card, and your credit line is $10,000. And let's say that you actually pay it off every month. You say, I don't hold a balance, Kevin. When I get the bill, I pay it off. Well, according to the credit bureau, you don't pay it off. Why? Because they have a trick. There's a 30-day cycle on the credit card. This is when the payment is due. But they report to the credit bureau 5 or 10 days earlier. So let's say you have a $10,000 line of credit and you put $1,000 on it. And at the end of the month, when you get your bill, you pay the $1,000. You never charged any interest. You always have a zero balance. Not according to the credit report, because the credit report doesn't look at the end of the month. It looks maybe 5 or 10 days before your cycle ends, and it shows that you have $1,000 on your credit card. And that can lower your credit score. So you always have to find out, when do you report to the credit bureaus? And then make sure you make your payment before that date. That will increase your credit score, sometimes 15 points. And that can be huge, huge, when you're looking to finance a home or refinance a home or something, to use credit wisely. So I'll have some shows on that. As you can see, I have a stack of things that I wanted to talk about, and we'll see if we can talk about it on Wednesday. But I'll tell you what, Wednesday, if I'm here, is going to be a massively important show, because I'm going to give you all the updates that I'm allowed to share with what's going on in the legal situation, because it is very powerful. I will share one thing with you today. By the way, do you have that clip of the family reunion?
Yeah, I can need it 10 seconds.
Okay, so look for this. I want to invite you. We have a 3-day event coming up, November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in Chicago. It's almost sold out. It's probably going to be sold out the next week. It's November 1st, 2nd in Chicago at the luxurious, ultra beautiful, spectacular Palmer House Hotel, downtown Chicago. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous facility. At this event, I'm going to have 7 multi-millionaires on stage sharing how they've used my training, the training that's in the Success Mastery course and the Science of Personal Mastery course and the Guru Kev books and the money processes and the relationship process, how they've used all that training to make millions and millions of dollars. This is going to be mind-blowing because you're going to hear from real people just like you who are broke, who went through the training and applied it, and in some cases, just 2 years, made millions of dollars. And in some cases, over decades, made tens of millions of dollars. You're going to see how they became multimillionaires. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be the host of the event. It's going to be a spectacular event. We have members coming in from over 100 countries all around the world. It's a live event in Chicago, and I want to give you a ticket absolutely free. Now, if you can't come to Chicago, I'll give you a virtual ticket so you can actually, in the privacy and comfort of your own home, watch the live stream. We're also going to record it. So let's say you're in some other country and you can't watch it live. It will be recorded, and a few days after the event, you'll get a copy of the recording so you can watch the entire event. This is an event that if Les Brown or Jay Abraham or Tony Robbins or somebody was putting on, Joe Dispenza, they would easily charge $15,000. I know Jay Abraham would probably charge $50,000 because he's very proud of his work. And rightly so. He's a great guy. So this is a huge event, and I'm going to give you a ticket absolutely free. All you have to do is become a member of the Global Information Network for $38.95. So for $38.95, you're going to get a ticket to this event, either live or virtually, absolutely free. Just go to globalinformationnetwork.com and sign up today. It's going to sell out very quickly. And for some reason, if you can't make this one, we also have an event coming up in Miami at Doral Resort in Miami, Florida. That's in January. So if you can't make this one, but you want to come live, I'll give you a ticket to that one. So you can go to either one, but you got to sign up and take advantage of this before we raise the prices in the Global Information Network. So become a member. I want to show you just a little video of what this event is going to look like. I think these are clips from last year's event that we had at this hotel. Let's take a look at this.
There's a saying, you choose your friends, but you don't choose your family.
This event coming up in the fall in Chicago at the beautiful Palmer House Hotel, magnificent. I'm going to give you a free ticket to that event. It's going to have Global Information Network members from around the world. There'll be millionaires in the room, incredibly successful people, motivated people, inspired people, driven people, happy people, people that want more out of life, people with high vibrational frequency. Speaking at that event will be seven multi-millionaires. It is going to blow you away. You're going to be getting more success information from people that have actually done it, people that started from zero and have turned their life into multi-millionaire status, that have what you want and have been where you are. I am going to be personally hosting the event, which means I'm going to be on stage right from the opening moment until the end. And I'll be doing training as well. And I'll be in the audience doing my energy work as well. It is going to be awesome. Join the club and you get a free virtual ticket, which means in the comfort of your own home, and you can watch the entire event. It is going to be awesome. Spectacular, awesome event. So if you can get there live, that's the best. If you can't, you can always watch it virtually. It's going to be spectacular. We've never had 7 multimillionaires on stage at the same time. So it's going to be special. There's going to be a lot going on. It's going to be pretty unique. I think it's going to be probably the most unique gin event we've ever had. And for those who are, the room's only so big, so we can only get so many people in. So it's almost sold out. So if you want to go, go to globalinformationnetwork.com. Right now, it's only $38.95. Everybody can afford that. $38.95 to become a member. Just click the Join Now button. Take you 5 minutes. And you'll also get a member support coach assigned to you who will reach out to you, help walk you through the website, make sure you get the most value out of the club. And remember, you can cancel your club membership at any time. There's no problem. I mean, you can go to the event and then cancel your club membership for $38.95. I mean, are you kidding me? This is, next to free. I mean, that's super cheap, and you get a free ticket to an event that we should easily charge $15,000 or more for. And you can see the type of opulence that we put on at these events. So it's going to be great, and I'm looking forward to meeting you there, shaking your hand, and maybe taking a picture with you as well. It's going to be spectacular. Well, tomorrow is a very, very big day, my friends. It's exciting. Check the Telegram channel, the Kevin Trudeau Fan Club Telegram channel, and I'll give you an update on what's happened in the court hearing. And hopefully, I will see you live on Wednesday. Much love, everybody. Have a great day.